We come along on Saturday morning, greeting everybody with a smile. Why am I doing that? Something John Lennon said at the beginning of an interview with Andy Peebles of the BBC. He did it on Saturday, December 6th, 1980, 2 days before he was gone. But anyway, today's December 6th, and it's Saturday, same thing. So for some reason, I just felt like saying that. Let's hope the aftermath isn't the same, but never mind. But anyway, here I am. I'm here earlier than usual. I'm usually here in the late afternoon. This time I'm here 10:30 in the morning. And, the reason I'm doing that is because I got to go to a movie later. This afternoon, I'm going with my nephew to see the Quentin Tarantino movie Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair, which means it's a 4 hour and a half, at least 4 hour and 35 minutes, or different sources say 4 hours and 40 minutes. Kill Bill 1 and 2 joined together with extra footage, as a movie buff. I'm very excited to see it. I never saw that version, and I'm supposed to go with my nephew, and I'm meeting him, and it'll be about 1:30ish this afternoon. So that's why I'm here early. Let's say hello there to Ramoga. How are you there? I mean, I like to see my regular friends and viewers here. And Mike Waljasper, good morning to you. Hello, Gary. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I'm here early today. Yep. And hello, Joe. How are you? Good to see you. And Andy Nichols. Hello, Andy. How the heck are you? Let me know if you feel like coming up, if you have any time, and I'll bring you up here. Give me a little time to, go solo if that's the case. But just want to know. Hello, Greg. Okay, well, people are coming in here. I like it. Okay, James. Hello. How are you? Okay. Yeah. What can I say, Jose? I don't know if anybody watched my stream with Danny. I'm going to start on some sad news. This has been bothering me for the last 2 days, okay? There was an Italian deli that I went to that was run by two wonderful people, two older Italian people. They were in business for over 30 years. And I didn't go there very regularly. I mean, every now and then. And I think that the last time I was there, I think was January. So it's almost a year, I think, since I've been there. And let me tell you something. A guy at work recommended these people. And they always said, oh, these people, let me tell you, this place is the best. You always hear people telling you that, right? My place is the best. They make the best food. They make the best sandwiches, etc. Well, I went there. 5 years I've been going there off and on. They've been in business over 30. I only found out about them 5 years ago. And the price was cheap. And they would give you these amazing sandwiches that were so big that you had to cut them in half, and you'd have half now and half for dinner, okay? Because they were too much. But anyway, let me get to the point of all this. Turns out that their 30-year-old son took them out. Trying to watch the words here. It's on the news. You can look it up. Italian deli, owners. And they were very nice people. They're always very nice people. When people meet their end like this, people always say how nice they were. No, everybody will tell you these were sweet people, older people, Italian heritage. They ran this very affordable, very cheap. I used to say to myself, how can they stay in business so long? Because it's so cheap. How in the world? And anyway, that's incredible to think of. The son had a lot of problems. We find out he was estranged from the family. And last month, he, let's say, physically and inappropriately touched his sister. And they haven't reported that yet, but I know that to be a fact because, you know, I have some information from people who know the family. And so they had a restraining order. And when he was arrested, he had a, what do you call it, ankle monitor on him already. And, apparently, just before he went into the deli to, you know, meet his parents, he had just been in a coffee shop. In the coffee shop 10 minutes earlier or so, he inappropriately touched a woman there. So this guy's a real crazy lunatic. I mean, I don't want him to get off on that, to get off scot-free on it. But all right, so now back to business. Here we go. Good morning. Good morning. What do you think? Anthology on Disney Plus. I really enjoyed it. I have 3 videos on it on my channel if you want to look into more detail. But I really had a good time with it. I thought they did a good job of making it a little, shorter and condensing it and making it move along nicely. I really thought it was well done. Yeah, Eric, exactly. Yeah. Yes, Gary. I think a little bit of, well, I mean, I have more. It's funny because I have more information on this. A guy that I used to work with. I won't go too long on this, I promise. But a guy that I used to work with when I delivered mail, when I was a letter carrier, still works there, and he used to go in there all the time, and he knew all the kids. They had a daughter and at least 2 sons. Anyway, and I talked to him. I went out on his route yesterday to talk to him, and he told me stories that he witnessed this guy that ultimately killed him. He witnessed him one time coming in, screaming at them about all this craziness, and he was like a little unhinged, man. But I don't even mean like, when you say these people, you have to be mentally ill to do a thing like that, I guess. But that, he knew what he was doing and everything. You can see him getting arrested in the videos, and he's very calm and cool and collected. And yeah, there was a lot more going on, more of a history of this that was going on, even just last month, November. Okay. I don't know if hi, Andrea. I don't remember if I put this up yet, so I'll put this up. Can't wait to see your streams in 2026. Yeah. Well, me either. Well, I mean, I can't believe it's 2026. We're getting closer to 2030. How in the world does that happen? Yes, Mr. Blood Vessel. I'm on early. I'm going to the movies with my nephew later this afternoon, and it's going to be a 4.5-hour show. So I figured I'd come on here early today. All right. Yeah. Yeah, back to that thing that I was just telling you about the deli. It's weird because you always see news reports of things around the world, and it's never you, or it's never in your own backyard, so to speak. I mean, this particular place, I mean, I didn't go here that often because I had to drive a little. It was a little bit of a drive from where I was. That's why I didn't go there. It wasn't my regular go-to place, but I'd go there a handful of times in a year, maybe like 4 or 5 times a year. Good morning, Penny Lane. What's going on? Going to see Kill Bill, the whole bloody affair. No, Quentin Tarantino, if you know that film at all. So got that out of my system. What items have you sold that you would get back if you could? Right now I'm hard pressed to think of anything that I sold that I would get back if I could. I know there's got to be something, but it's not pressing, so I don't really remember it. It doesn't come to mind. What things would you never sell? Well, you say never, but then it's never say never. Like, I remember saying that about my Paul McCartney autograph, like I would never sell it. But then again, you hope you're never in a position down the line, financially or otherwise, where you have to sell it, you know? Yes, Tarantino originally did intend for Kill Bill to be a big, long epic, one movie instead of two, but he had to cut it in half. I think the studio wanted him to do that. What's would have been some of the songs you would have chosen for Anthology 4 instead of the repeats? Well, I'd rather have stuff that we don't know existed already. You know what I mean? Like people keep saying, "Oh, they want the longer version of Helter Skelter." I don't. Not the slow one anyway. Not that slow and meandering one. Definitely not. And people say, "What does it take? 20 of Revolution One?" I think it is. That one is pretty good. I don't want Carnival of Light. I don't care about Carnival of Light. No, don't. But I guess nothing specific by me. Just more outtakes that we haven't heard. Then again, you're hoping they're saving some of these outtakes for the Beatles albums when they come out. You know, the earlier one. You don't want if everything's on anthology, then when they get around, hopefully they'll get around to putting out all the deluxe earlier sets. Hopefully they've got more stuff in there, you know. So let's see what we got. Let me do something here. Let me put the invite link up here. If Andy's still out there. Let's get that copy paste working here, because God knows this paste takes a long time for some reason. Brother. There we go. Paste. Let's see. What are your favorite Christmas albums? You mentioned Frank Sinatra, Johnny Mathis. I like the Johnny Mathis one. I like the Bing Crosby one. Well, Nat King Cole, I only really listened to the Christmas song. Elvis's Christmas album, the Phil Spector Christmas album, Christmas Gift for You. You'd be surprised. I have a lot of Christmas albums. I like the Ventures Christmas album, Herb Alpert, the Tijuana Brass. Yeah, I heard something about this, and I've seen a few clips of that, not of the movie, but I should say pictures, photos, by clips. I should have said thumbnails and things. 6-part drama based on the Beatles' Hamburg days. Good morning, James Farley. I would listen to the 27-minute Helter Skelter, but I'm figuring that most of it would be boring, and after hearing it once, I probably wouldn't listen to it again. There's that slow dirgy. I use the word dirge a lot. Dirgy kind of different version of Helter Skelter. I heard enough of that on the White Album bonus features, you know. If there was a long 27-minute version of the exciting Helter Skelter, the one that was officially on the White Album, if there was a long version of that, I'd really like that. Chauncey Phillips, what's going on? You lost me on this one. How am I feeling today? A little under the weather. I just, you have better days, and you have, I don't know, it's just a little out of it today. Also, I'm going through what's known as sugar withdrawal too. I'm not having any sugar. When you don't have sugar, you can feel more lethargic, you're a little more run down, a little kind of achy, all that kind of stuff. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. When I was a kid, I liked the Ray Conniff Singers Christmas album. Usually don't go for that kind of music, but they sing the songs with a lot of enthusiasm, and it's generally a happy album. Yep. Of course, I forgot to say Ringo Starr's Christmas album, I Want to Be Santa Claus. I do like it. It gets a lot of hard knocks unnecessarily, in my opinion. It's a fun album. Festive album, fun album. I'm A-okay with it. Cheers. How sweet it is. Okay. No, Cliff Richard's was never really popular in here. I think the only thing he had was the song Devil Woman. I think that's the only big hit he had here. Anybody else know? You had jury duty the whole past week. Thank God it's over. Capitalize the G in God when you're on my stream, buddy. Oh, sorry, did that already. I usually work on Saturday mornings, but I reserved the day off months ago. Now that I'm off, I'm kind of sick with a bronchial annoyance. Figures, right? Nothing worse than when you have an illness during a time when you took a vacation or you're going somewhere special. Ronnie Spector would not sign. Yeah, I remember hearing this. Yeah, I think you must have told us this. Ronnie Spector would not sign my Apple Christmas album that she is on because of Phil. Get over yourself, Ronnie. Well, I'm sorry. Get over yourself, Ronnie. Really. The Partridge Family Christmas album is my go-to. I have that actually, but I never played it. Actually, that one I never played. I get rid of it. It's the one that, or maybe play it 1 year, maybe this year, and maybe I'll play it in the First Time Spins series. But I got the original one that has the Christmas card in it. I bought it because it was a novelty. It has a little slit thing with a Christmas card on the cover. I like the songs of the 60s. They're usually about 3 minutes long. Songs started to become too long in the 70s. Well, true, but don't forget you had Hey Jude was long and Like a Rolling Stone was long, but I know what you mean. Generally, you're speaking generally, Gary. I like the anthology as well. What stood out was the enhanced video and audio quality, particularly Paul's bass. Just reaffirms what a great bass player he was and still is. Well said. I like Sing Along with Mitch too. Sing along with Mitch Miller. It's just a very, very like upbeat and happy album. Really puts you in the happy spirit of Christmas. There you go. Okay, Cliff had Suddenly with Olivia Newton-John from Xanadu. Cheap Trick made a good Christmas album in 2017. It's a mostly rocking, sometimes bluesy album and fun to hear. Hey Jude, hold on a minute. Hey Jude was meant to be long, right? Some people just go on and on for no reason. And there he is. He loves his Dancing Godzilla. Absolutely. Good morning, Anthony. So-so. It's one of those ones. Feel a little run down, a little, a little under the weather. Like the Vonnie Christmas album. Hey, Moody Blues have a good Christmas album. I didn't even know that. Yeah, the weather and the holidays are hectic. The holidays are hectic, even though it's funny, even though I'm not working anymore as a mailman. I mean, it was really insane with all the parcels and the packages and Christmas cards and all the stuff you got to deliver for the holidays when you're a mailman. That's crazy. But still, even without doing that, you can still feel it. You can still feel it. There's a lot of things I have planned to do this month, and you're trying to rush it all in there. And I also, at some point this month, I want to get together one last time for this season, this year, with Mikey Arugula. And I want to do a Mikey Arugula video for Christmas about collectibles and things. I decided to have this show early today because I'm going to see a movie this afternoon with my nephew. We're going to see Kill Bill, the whole bloody affair, which is over 4 hours long, and we're going to see that this afternoon. So that's why I'm here early. My nephew has seen Kill Bill already, and my nephew is 33. So he'll be 34 this month, actually. Would have been interesting to be in the studio with the Beatles in general. I'm curious about when they, or Paul alone, decided to go on with the long ending of Hey Jude. I don't know the answer to that one, but it's up for speculation. I'm cheating today with lemon meringue pie, or as Archie Bunker would say, what are you doing there, eating lemon meringue pie? Yeah. Okay. Xanadu. Whenever I think of Olivia Newton-John, I think of Tom Agnotti because that's his crush, Don't blame you. So they tell me. If you're feeling lethargic without sugar, you might like having a cup of hot black tea, which I do have black tea. It has some caffeine to pick you up a bit. We have decaffeinated. My girlfriend and I drink decaffeinated black tea. So much for that idea. Have you seen that some UK websites have Mark Lewison's second book listed with a placeholder date? I don't know, man. Maybe there's some of these sites that have had the book with the placeholders for the last, 12 years or something. Xanadu. Got that stuck in my head, obviously. Thanks a lot for mentioning it. Am I looking forward to anything in 2026? Yeah. Paul McCartney's new album, hopefully. Ringo Starr's new album. Ringo is also working on what you might call Look Up Part 2. Beatle-wise, looking forward to the John Lennon, Yoko Ono one-to-one concerts, both of them coming out officially. Yeah, after the live stream, I got other things to do and getting ready for today's movie show. I suspect Lewison has writer's block very seriously. I don't think so, Andrea. I think what he said is that he's waiting, I don't know, for a lot more interview clips and not interview clips. What's the best way of putting it? Documents and official pieces of paper and things that would he said every time he's ready to think he's stopped, he's ready to go, he keeps getting more original documents and things and more information. I don't know what's true or not, but as far as writer's block, I don't think how could that happen really when he's not writing like a fictional novel where he's got to think of stuff. He's writing the real story of the Beatles. That story's already there, no block. That's just my opinion, but I don't know. It's really quiet on the Rolling Stones website. Do you think something will come next year? I didn't even know the Rolling Stones. Oh, the Rolling Stones, I would presume, have a website. Yeah, I don't know what's up with this either. If please hit the like button. Hit the like button. It helps with the algorithm. It helps with people finding this live stream or getting recommended and stuff. So it's always a very, very much appreciated if you hit the like button. That's a great song, Zandu. I spelled it wrong. Yes, I noticed that. But it was a fall time of 1980, around the same time John Lennon's comeback in 1980. Great memories. Yes, Anthony. Yes, at that time. Soon to be not so happy memories. I wonder if they will slip in the infamous 1972 45 single song when they release the 1-to-1 concert. I don't think they will. I don't think they will. We got 11 likes according to Pirate Gamer Boy. Hello too. Hello. I always click on the like button as soon as I get you on the screen. Well, thank you. I appreciate that, folks. I appreciate it. So anyway, I'm just going to pop this up again. I don't know what happened to Andy. If he's still out there, I'll give it another try. I've never watched a game of soccer in my life. I never have. So no, I won't be watching soccer. Sorry that I don't have stuff to talk about. Sometimes I have a little more to talk about. Otherwise, I just have to wait for the comments to come in for see where we're going to go. My wife watches soccer games, so I watch parts of it. It has a good game with a lot of. It is a good game with a lot of action, like basketball and hockey. I like baseball. A lot of people, say it's boring. I never thought it was boring. I like the old Christmas specials on TV. Andy Williams, Bing Crosby, etc. Walk today? No, I did walk the last 5 days, but that's me trying to save a little time here. A little face. So I didn't walk today because of the being here first, and then I'm gonna have to get ready. We go to the movies at like 1:30, so don't really have the time. I usually walk in the morning. I could have walked earlier before I started here, but I didn't. So it's almost 11 a.m. here. 11 a.m. 5 hours difference in England. Paul is a pretty good drummer. I mean, if you just go by like his solo, go by his first album, McCartney, and go by Band on the Run alone, I mean, it doesn't sound great on like Ballad of John and Yoko or some other things, but he's a pretty good drummer. He's a pretty good drummer. Got to give him that, Oh yeah, football. Don't even get me started. I've never watched or played a game of football. I mean, when I was a kid, I'm sure I screwed around a little bit playing football, kicking a football around, throwing a football, but I never really watched a game or played a full game. Hello, Walkman. What's up? I think we might receive 60th anniversary of Magical Mystery Tour. No, I don't. You don't know. It's just a guess. But I don't think so. But Hopefully, we will get something for Magical Mystery Tour. As I always say, Magical Mystery Tour and Yellow Submarine may be put together. You know, what's up? It's Tom Hagnotti. Tom, are you working today? That's funny. I'm sorry. I love it. Were people generous at Christmas time when you were a carrier? I always take care of my carrier. Yes, they were. Sure, they were. Absolutely. Yes, I'm going to see Kill Bill. We got a 140 show. That's why I'm here earlier. I usually come on in the afternoon later on Saturdays, but I'm here early to do it first, and then I'm going to get ready and we're going to get out of here. And I'm going to go. You think we will ever get any George Harrison Dark Horse tour music? Well, it looked like it for a while. It looked like I thought Danny Harrison had kind of like hinted that they were kind of looking into that, and nothing ever came of it. Ringo said he was in a band with 3 frustrated drummers. Yeah, I heard stuff like that. Oh, I'm with you. You want to talk about boredom? You know, blow the whistle or whatever, throw the ball, move 5 or 6 feet, stop, tackle, or whatever, wait around a little more, time to go, move another 3 or 4 feet, maybe if you're lucky, 10 or 12 feet, stop, wait. Thanks for the recommendation to watch the Thanksgiving horror movie. It's called Thanksgiving, yes. Now we need Danny to watch it. I've told him, Danny, you got to watch Thanksgiving, the movie. He likes slasher films. He likes slasher films of the 1980s and 70s, The movie Thanksgiving is a newer film, and it's in the spirit of the old slashers. So Danny should like it indeed. If it happens, 2026 will be the first year that Ringo and Paul both released a new album since 2012. I never really gave that a thought. I never really thought. Though you got me thinking now. Oh boy, 2020, maybe. I did see a movie with Quentin Tarantino talking about actors that he didn't like or something. People that got on his. I think it might have been him. I thought Bruce Willis was one actually, which was a surprise. I maintain that the Magical Mystery Tour movie isn't as bad as a lot of people say, but I wouldn't consider it to be really good either. Other than the songs, like the Spinetti scene, I also like the scenes of Ringo on the bus arguing with his aunt. Those are funny to me too. The problem with it is it's just all over the place, and it's a lot of boring parts. However, I think I always say that the music, of course, is great, and I think Magical Mystery Tour is worth watching as a music video collection. I'm not putting it up. I'm not putting it up again now. Okay. Do I think Tom's a better dancer than Godzilla? No, I don't. My favorite sports are number 1, baseball, number 2, football, hockey, basketball, least favorites. Oh, hello, Robin. When are you and Anthony going to the guy that curses a lot store? That's a very good question. And we're going to do that, so please stay tuned. But Anthony and I, it's been hard to synchronize getting together lately. And a couple of times where we did get together, what we wind up doing is we spend the day going over with Mikey Arugula to work on videos with him. So when we do get together, we've been doing a lot of that. But we're going to have to change that, and we're going to have to make a trip to that place. In fact, I did see Anthony. I don't remember the exact date, but when a little while ago, when the anthology came out on Disney again, and I watched one of the chapters with him, I think part 3. I watched part 3 with Anthony. I say part 3, I mean day 3. I keep getting mixed up. It's episode 8. Episode 8, the Get Back episode. I know people say the spaghetti scene is one of the parts they remember the most, but it's probably my least favorite part of the movie personally. Yeah, I like it. No, Paul and Ringo, in my opinion, should never do an album together. No. Everybody wants that Beatles thing, even if it comes down to just Paul and Ringo. They want the Beatles reunion, even if it's just Paul and Ringo. No, I don't think it's a good idea. Not at this point in time, anyway. I mean, they're at the end, But music. I mean, we hope they survive a lot longer. But what I mean is, they're at the last portion of their lives and their work. It's not the best time for them to do work together. I don't think. There you go. And like George said, Magical Mystery Tour was a glorified home movie. I just think that scene is gross with the spaghetti scene. Yeah, well, it's certainly that, if nothing else. Paul and Ringo should do a song with the three remaining Rolling Stones. A lot of people want this stuff. I write a letter. Maybe they'll listen to you. Make a suggestion letter. Thank you for people that are here. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for watching, for lurking. Yes, the spaghetti scene in Magical Mystery Tour was a John Lennon dream sequence that he had. He had a dream. I've had dreams. Usually, just meeting the Beatles, trying to get their autographs, trying to get photos with them. Occasionally, and there's always something goes wrong. Like I can't get the camera to work, and that actually happened with Sean. It's hilarious. I have occasionally, rarely, a dream like, oh, I'm going to meet Paul. Hey, Paul, let's take a picture or a selfie or something. I can't get the camera isn't working, and I don't know if I told this story or not. I might have, but when I met Sean in October in New York City, there was a listening event, and I was invited, and I went there, and I had three pictures taken with Sean. Right, the first one, my friend Robert S. took of us. It's the picture. If you look on my banner, you'll see it. It's good. We're both smiling. It's good. But I thought personally, when I looked at it, that it was slightly blurred. So later on in the evening, when Sean was not being, nobody was talking to him and he was just hanging out, I said, Sean, can I get another selfie with you? He said, yeah, sure. Let's go. So I take the thing and I'm like, and nothing's happening. He goes, wait a minute, you got it on video. He said, let me do it. I'll do it. So he takes it. He puts he puts the camera on and he does it. And he took two more pictures of us just for safety. But it's funny because the same thing happened. I was like, I couldn't do it. I know it sounds ridiculous, but that's what happens. I mean, I do this all the time. Take photos, use my camera, use the video part of the camera. But when it really takes it to the point where, you're in a moment where you may be a little, slightly starstruck a little, but, whatever it is, it just didn't work. It was like a dream, a dream actually coming true there. So, yeah, I definitely will be listening to this. Yeah, I love that Yoko song. Listen, the snow is falling. It's one of my favorite Christmassy songs. And I have a compilation that I made, my own mix CD of Christmas stuff that I like, and that's on there. So every year I play that disc. So naturally, the Yoko song is part of it. Get to hear it every Christmas. I've only had a few dreams of the Beatles, one with them in a coffee shop in 68. George asked me, "Do you think I'm doing a good job?" And I said, "Hey, you're George Harrison." And he smiled to that. Better than having a dream of him telling you to go sod off, you know? I prefer taking video selfies. You can always take a screenshot when you find the right pose. Sure. When the first three Beatles anthologies came out, I was mad at first because I already had it on old bootlegs from years earlier, but it did sound much better. I don't know. I heard a lot of stuff on those anthologies that I'd never heard on bootlegs. But then again, maybe I didn't buy the right bootlegs. I don't know. I had a lot of bootlegs. I collected a ton of bootlegs. But there was stuff there that I hadn't heard before. I'd never heard. I mean, I could go through the whole list of the No Reply outtakes. I'm Down. Um, It's Only Love. You've got to hide your love away, etc., etc. But there was stuff. There was stuff that we already heard on bootlegs, Unsurpassed Masters, stuff like that. Hello, Marcus. I've not seen the animated War Is Over film. No, I have not. Football is technically 1 hour, but takes at least 3 to 4 hours. How freaking absolutely aggravating that sounds, right? Certainly have an idea for another one of those clips when I put clips on the screen. I thought of another one, football related. Okay, Miss Odell in her book said there were three Georges: the upbeat and happy George, the don't talk to me grumpy George, and the thoughtful George, who would talk to you about deep things. Well, that sounds like a human being, or it should be. Most human beings and normal have a little bit of all. George didn't always play nice. If he was upset about something, he didn't try to sugarcoat it. I like that. Here we go again. I'm sorry when these questions are asked and I can't always think of them. What's the last thing you bought that you unfortunately owned already? Like you didn't realize you had it already. I don't know what the most recent one is, but that's happened to me a lot. Something you didn't buy because you thought you had it. Oh boy, oh boy. These things have both happened to me recently, but I can't remember what they were. What they were. Oh, the one that I didn't buy because I thought I had it already. Okay. In my record store, there's was a comic. They have some comic books in there, and I was going to buy a couple of them in a series, but I thought to myself, I think I might have these already. I'm not sure, so I held off. So that's one of that, and that's recent. That's recent. Um, Geez, I can't remember. So there definitely is. If it comes to me later, I'll let you know. But I know there's something also fairly recently that I bought, and I got home and shit, I got this already. That happens. Well, of course, everybody wants to be around a person who's at his best, not his worst. I agree. I could see that. From watching Anthology and seeing 90s George, I felt he was still suffering from some PTSD for everything he went through at such a young age. You know what? Here's the world's smallest violin playing for George. You know what I mean? And any star that feels that way. I'm sorry. When he was young, he was like, oh, he wants to be famous. He wants to be popular, wants to get all the girls. He wants to be rich. Then you achieve that. And it's like, our nervous systems, we gave our nervous systems and all that kind of stuff. Let me tell you something. You want your nervous system taxed? Try being a U.S. mailman for 30 years. Okay. Really. I mean, I'm not getting paid nearly as many millions of dollars as you've got, you know, not being iconic either, not being thought of as an icon. Nobody's ever happy, are they? Still trying to think of something recently that I bought and I got it home and said, oh, great, I got this already. Okay, in my opinion, bad news. Netflix purchasing Warner Brothers, making up 25% movies releases in theaters today. Netflix still more than Disney purchasing Fox a few years ago. I didn't like, I could tell you, I didn't like when Disney purchased 20th Century Fox. That I hated because there are a lot of 20th Century Fox movies you'll never see come out again because Disney owns them. So screw them. But as far as the Netflix thing, I don't know how that's going to go yet. There was a quote from one of Paul's daughters saying that it took him years to get over the Beatles experience, especially the breakup. Well, the breakup and things, that was kind of heartbreaking for him, tough. George always seems so grumpy post Beatles. Yeah, lots of times. Richard, that's nice of you to say. Thank you. It's a bit much, but hey, thank you. I think George was the biggest whiner about having the Beatle thing forced on him. Yeah, it was forced on him. You know what I mean? Nah, too bad. These people. Fred Gwynn complained because, I'm Herman Munster. Oh, Herman Munster. Everybody thinks of me as Herman Munster. What do you want to be? Just an ordinary street sweeper? I mean, come on. Embrace your popularity. I realize in the case of Fred Gwynn, he felt he couldn't get any acting jobs because he was stereotyped as Herman. I get it. But I think, Herman Munster made a lot of people laugh over the years. And to this day, everybody remembers, oh. So, don't sweat it, Fred. You did a great job, and you're an iconic staple of TV forever to all new generations. You live on eternally. I pre-ordered a Laurel and Hardy Blu-ray when it was first posted. A couple of months later, I put in pre-order, forgetting I'd already ordered it. Yeah. Bet you're so happy to be retired this time of year. You're damn right I am. No doubt about it. This especially this time of year. I wish there was a way where John Lennon, the guest appearance on Elton John Thanksgiving. I don't know. This is all. I know what you're saying, but it doesn't read properly. Where we could get the John Lennon guest appearance on Elton John Thanksgiving concert. Yeah, somewhere somebody has a short home movie of it, and it's a real one. It's not a fake one. I know there is a fake one going out there. There's a fake one, but yeah. He needed he needed to do the anthology. Yes, he did. He financially needed it. I really like Fred Gwynn and My Cousin Vinny, the Grumpy Judge. Everything that man said is BS. And you know what? I love that movie. You ain't gonna use language like that in my courtroom. I just watched My Cousin Vinny again. It's one of my favorite of all time, favorite comedies of all time, and one of my favorite movies of all time. Fred Gwynn is fantastic in there, but it's funny, like that's the one moment of the whole movie I don't like, the one line, because the guy Vinny isn't going to say that. Everything that guy said is bullshit. It's like, come on. Even Vinny knows that's not the way to talk in the courtroom. Even he knows that's not acceptable. It's like, I don't buy that. To be naive in some ways is one thing. Right, Joe, only 2 seasons, 70 episodes, but the Monsters is still hilarious. I think so. Yeah, Fred Gwynn was in Pet Sematary. He was in a lot of things. Cotton Club. He's in a lot of things. Yeah. That's okay. I forgive you. Speaking of My Cousin Vinny, the George Costanza and Marissa Tomei storyline in Seinfeld is hilarious. I remember that, something about Marissa Tomei. I remember it vaguely, yes. I like Vinny's jacket like a movie theater usher. So it was either wear the leather jacket, which I know you hate, or this. So I wore this ridiculous thing for you. That's a great scene. Mr. Gambini, are you mocking me with that outfit? Mocking you? No, I'm not mocking you, Judge. Well, then explain that outfit. I got a suit. You've seen it. Now it's covered in mud. This this town doesn't have 24-hour dry cleaner. Any stores to buy anything new is one store, and it's got the flu. The whole store's got the flu. So I got this in a secondhand shop, and it was either wear the leather jacket, etc., that I know you hate, something like that. I got it pretty much verbatim. Paul was always the go-getter. He was the only one that wanted to keep touring in '66 and tried to keep it all together in '69. Yes, and sometimes enough is enough. You know what I mean? No, I always salute Paul for keeping it going, especially after Brian Epstein died in '67. And, as Ringo said, if Paul didn't give them a call, time to make an album, and push them to make more music, they wouldn't have had as many albums as they did. So I thank Paul for that. But there comes a time when enough is enough, and it was getting time to split up. Who's the newest artist you kind of like, other than El King? I guess I can't help you there. There aren't any. There aren't any that I've heard. I gotta, because the thing is, I still have enough trouble trying to catch up on the old artists that I want to hear more of. Joe, you don't need a DVD for any movie. You can just perform the scripts from memory. Yeah, it's true. I have a photographic memory for a lot of movies. I'm not saying necessarily every movie just on a one-time view. But the movies that I wind up liking, I tend to be able to have a photographic memory and I don't know what the term is, an audiographic memory. I think Brian pushed him a little too hard to go back to Hamburg again, even after Love Me Do was a hit. Yeah, that's why I don't care about the 1962 Hamburg tapes. Everybody's like, "Oh, we got to get the Beatles live at the Star Club at Hamburg." By the time that album was recorded, when the tape of them in Hamburg, that's December '62. It's almost 1963. They'd already recorded Love Me Do. They'd already started doing their own songs. They already had Ringo in the band and Pete Best out. They had moved well beyond songs like, I can't even think of them now, Sweet Little 16 and Your Feet's Too Big, and what else did they sing on that Hamburg album? All those kind of things. It was anticlimactic. Now, if that Hamburg album had been a recording from, say, 1961 or something like that, or 60, something like that, that would be worth it. Thank you very much. Hello, JD. Yeah, doing good. Staying on that routine. I've been on my routine, doing good. Just have to deal with the, feeling a little lethargic, having some withdrawals, staying on the proper sugar-free routine. Did you have breakfast today? Yes, I did. I had eggs. I had eggs and onions, and I mixed them together, and that was my breakfast. And not going to have any lunch because the movie that I'm going to see, I'm going to the movies. And when I go to the movies, it's going to be a 4.5-hour movie. And it starts at like 1:30ish or 2 o'clock after the commercials. So I'm not going to be ready to eat dinner until 7:30. So who's some of the older artists you've newly discovered or done a deeper dive? Well, Johnny Cash was one of them. I don't I don't know if there's that many of them really, but I remember when I got into Johnny Cash for a while. Please me, ask me why. It was already recorded and ready for release when they went back to Hamburg in December of '62. Very, very, very interesting. That's why it's a joke. People, a lot of people say, "Well, I still want to get the improved quality Hamburg Hamburg, because it still has songs on it the Beatles never recorded before. It's different songs. I don't. By the time we got to there, I don't want to hear them doing those songs anymore. You know. No, no. Kill Bill Part Two is definitely my favorite. Kill Bill is great. But first of all, Kill Bill 1 and 2 are actually one movie. You know, that's what I'm seeing today, right? I'm going to see Kill Bill. They call it Kill Bill: The Whole Bloody Affair. It's the whole thing united together with some extra footage and some color footage that was only seen in black and white in the part one. Anyway, part one is just a lot of action, and that's fine. Part two is more cerebral. It's more of a story and getting into more of the mental stuff. So I think part two is more interesting. But the whole thing as a whole is just sheer genius. Almonds are good for making you feel full. I don't have a problem with that. You know, I don't go around feeling hungry, and I'm not going to take Ozempic either, right? And I don't really, whatever. But I don't have a problem. Like I walk around, I feel hungry all the time. I don't have that problem. I've been doing a deeper dive and listening to almost all of Elvis Costello's albums up to his latest. He's a great songwriter in different styles. Do you have the Beatles vinyl singles blue box? Not anymore. I don't. Those are the kind of things I'm trying not to do anymore. I don't have the singles box, blue box. I don't have the LP blue box anymore. Just to have stuff in boxes to sit there to say, I got it. It's up there. I got it. Not enough anymore. I mean, some stuff, yeah. It's not 100%. There's still going to be stuff like, but like the Beatles box here, the white. This is the Beatles CD, the Beatles in mono set. I'll play that from time to time. Up there, we have the US CD set. I'll play that from time to time. But you have to also remember, I have the new box from 2014 of the US albums up there, but inside the sleeves, I have the old, the proper ones from the 2004 releases. The discs are from the first run, because those are better. Would you go see a Grindhouse double bill? Yeah, I suppose I would. Yeah, I don't love Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's okay, I own it. It's okay, but it's not my favorite Tarantino movie. Okay, I wish you, Joe, a great time at the movies later on this evening and get some relaxation. You need it. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm notorious for not liking Star Wars. I especially when it came out. When Star Wars came out, I was a good age for it. I was 15. But my whole take on it was that it's like I was a big fan of the Planet of the Apes series, and Planet of the Apes was very big in the 70s. Then Star Wars came out, and everybody forgot about Planet of the Apes. They forgot about everything, because once that came out, everything was Star Wars this, Star Wars that. Even my favorite magazine, Famous Monsters, they took the title off. Instead of calling it Famous Monsters, they put Star Wars on it to try to sell more copies. And it made me sick that it was Star Wars mania, and I wasn't part of it. I didn't care. So no, I really never got into the Star Wars thing. As the years have passed, I've come to say, yeah, the first trilogy is a decent trilogy, but I don't ever want to see it again. I took my little nephews when they were small. I took them to see Star Wars in the movie theater, and I think the other two as well. They came back. The Hateful Eight I actually have not seen yet. It's a Tarantino movie I'm meaning to see that I never see. If they release the Beatles stereo vinyl box set, all analog, would you buy it? Well, I didn't buy the first one when they put it out the first time, specifically because it was all digital, right? But I don't think I would. No, I didn't buy. I don't have the Beatles in mono vinyl UK set. I don't have that. I didn't buy the UK Beatles in mono when they just re-released it, and I didn't even buy the redo of the Beatles American albums, Capitol, and all that. Didn't buy those. I have the originals. good enough for me. I've never wondered who won Ringo's car, but I know what you mean. There was that 1970s contest. Even though the UK releases sound the best and they are how they were meant to sound, I occasionally like hearing the heavy reverb US mixes of songs like I Feel Fine and She's a Woman. Absolutely. I Feel Fine and She's a Woman US are my go-to. They just sound really more powerful and more rocking. So, yeah. I was hoping that the Where's Rubber Soul sentiments would have died down by now. I think that, but Michael Nolan has really beat the dead horse. Michael Nolan, if you're watching this, you have, man, my friend. You've beat the dead horse. I've even made some comments on your videos about it. You know, really, enough. Really. You know, I understand to a point where it's like, you want the views. Look at me. Look how many videos I did on Anthology. I mean, I get, you know, as a content creator, that's what you want to do. You want to try to dive in, strike while the iron's hot, and you're looking to get views, and you're looking to maybe get some new subscribers. And I got a lot of views out of it. I got a lot of new subscribers out of it, and I got some pocket money out of it. It was good, the whole thing, and I got a lot of fun out of it. So I enjoy all of it, but I don't know. The thing with the Rubber Soul, I'm so tired of hearing it. I am so flipping tired of hearing it. I know, and you know, you can keep it coming. I can take it. You know, you can go in the comments to my videos, say, hey, where's Rubber Soul? I'll get the guy up perturbed. I'll get him upset. I'll go in there and I'll yank his chain. Hey, Joe, where's Rubber Soul? You know, whatever. I'll just delete it or ignore it or whatever. Or put the words Rubber Soul in a filter or something. No, but seriously, we're going to get Rubber Soul. Just stop already, you know? Okay, we didn't get it in 2025. We'll get it in 26, maybe 7. I know. But what kills me is everybody's waiting for this thing so badly. And when Rubber Soul comes, I guarantee you there are going to be people who are saying, what's the big deal? We already got half of them already on the Beatles' Red Album. Half of these songs were already released remastered on the Beatles' Red Album. Why did they give us this outtake, but they didn't give us that outtake? Why do you know outtakes of the song? I don't know. Where's the outtakes of the song? Wait, you know. Why do we only have one outtake of this, but 3 of that? Look, and most of you are just going to leave it on the shelves. And once it comes out, nobody's even going to talk about it. You know, we will, the content creators will talk about it, and we'll, you know, toss it around amongst ourselves and share with you. But a lot of people, after waiting so long, believe you me, people are not going to be interested in it. Yeah, I know. I've heard that. My nephew tells me the same thing. Gotta see it. You gotta see it. Yeah. Yes, me too. I like Michael Nolan's channel. Yes, I do. I just that with a Rubber Soul thing, it's enough to me too. And that's okay. He can think that it's enough with me with some of my stuff. Original stereo box is notoriously mediocre. Yeah, I agree. All right, hold on a minute. What are we talking about here? The one from 2012. I mean, okay. All right. Saw Star Wars in 78 and fell asleep halfway through. I still haven't seen the whole thing. Every time this question comes up, I've only saw Son of Dracula with Ringo one time. It was on a crummy quality videotape, and it really didn't. I wasn't able to really enjoy it that way. But I remember one song got through. There was one song that I liked, and to this day, I don't remember what song that was. I've never seen it again. Thank you very much, Golden God Dennis. Maybe you've talked about this already, but does the Rubber Soul advert on the Beatles social media mean we're not getting the box set? I don't think that. I think we're definitely going to get it. Yeah. I'm still waiting for the Plastic Soul box set reissue. I agree with Michael Nolan that there should be a Rubber Soul box set. I will buy it when it comes out, but I can wait. I'm not so excited about it to go crazy about it. Yeah, I don't understand really. Does your girlfriend share your taste in movies and music. No, she doesn't at all. Especially when I mean, sometimes I wonder if she likes anything that I like. I'm laughing because, I just watched like the honeymoon. We're watching like the Color Honeymooners. I don't know if you know what that is. Like she likes musicals. She loves musicals. She likes dancing. She likes to like kind of like gaudy stuff, right? Uh, that's entertainment, Fred Astaire, etc. Well, if you know the Color Honeymooners from the 1960s, they got the Miami Beach there from. They're a variety show where you have Jackie Gleason and Art Carney and the ladies and the dancer. They have the June Taylor dancers. Everybody dances. They sing. They break out into song. They're musicals. They're comedies, but they're musicals. And she's like, what do you want me to tell you? There's some things we really like. We enjoy The Odd Couple, for example. We love watching The Odd Couple together. Certain things we do like. I Love Lucy. Certain shows we like. But when it comes to movies, she likes romantic movies. I don't. I mean, I'm not going to say there's I don't have a good heart, a sentimental appreciation for a good romantic story. I do, and there are some of them I like. But she loves the Hallmark Channel and those kind of stupid, sappy movies. And I like horror movies and comedy movies. But and when it comes to music, yeah, we like the same kind of music, only in the sense that like we like the 60s and the 70s and some 80s the best. Yeah. So we do have that in common. And she likes the Beatles, but she's not a fanatic over them. Exactly. When Rubber Soul comes out, they'll say, "Where's Help? Where's Magical Mystery Tour?" And I know. I agree too. If somebody said to me, "You could have right now, or in 2026, you can have Back to the Egg in London Town, and you'll have to wait to 2027 to get Rubber Soul," I'd take McCartney. I would. I love the Beatles. I want Rubber Soul, but you know, Rubber Soul, I've heard a lot more than I've heard the Wings stuff. I'm going to get ready to sign off soon. I got a lot of things to do getting ready for the movies. And Andy, I don't know what the hell happened to you. Andy was on earlier in the comments, and I said, "You want to come up?" He said, "Sounds good." And I gave him 2 links. I don't know. But okay. No harm, no foul. I last saw Star Wars 14 years ago. There you go. And I've never seen the Big Lebowski. Mrs. Mayo ever watch your videos? She watches my videos when I say, "Hey, look, I wanted you to check something out." She's very supportive of what I do. She's very proud of what I do. She loves what I do. She feels really like happy for me that's taken off so well, and she's very, very much into it. But she won't just go watch videos all on her own, out of nowhere. Not that I know of, but if I say to her, "Hey, I want you to check these videos out," she'll check them out and she'll give me her honest reaction. All right, this is it, folks. Thank you so much for being here. Yes, indeed, we're going to get Rubber Soul. Don't worry about it. Okay. Thank you, Kimba. Yeah, going to see the movie. I'm sorry, I got to leave now because I got to do a few things, and then I got to go over to the movies. So, thank you, everybody. Sorry, this is a little shorter than usual, but at least it was something. Figured I'd come up here and do this. I do this every Saturday. It's usually late afternoon Eastern time. It's usually around 4 p.m. Eastern or something like that. So much appreciated. Everybody, thanks for all your nice comments. And be well. See you soon, I hope. Cheers.